Do you ever see chemtrails in the sky? Take a look. See, a contrail will dissipate after the airplane flies by. And these chemtrails, these are new. Maybe in the last 10, 20 years, the chemtrails have been happening. And essentially, they're aluminum particles that are supposed to reflect the sunlight to keep the planet colder because, global warming and all that stuff. Well, the powers that shouldn't be, or the powers that have the resources to do this, they don't want the planet warming up, which on one side you could probably appreciate, because if it melts the polar caps, then the sea levels rise, and then when the sea levels rise, then coastal cities, towns, countries are devastated from that. Here's an unpopular opinion. I believe it's intuitive. It could be wrong. So keep that in mind. But my opinion is that this is actually meant to block the energy of the Hunabku, the center of our galaxy. Back in 2012, the Mayan calendar ended, and that describes essentially that the period of darkness was over, and that now we're moving into a greater form of enlightenment, because our solar system on the spiral arm part of the galaxy is coming back more towards the center. We went as far away from the center, the Hunabku is what they call it, which is like the Logos or God, and now we're moving back towards that. So that means that through the sun, as a transition station or a transfer station, we are receiving the love of God through that light. And so if you can block that light, then people can stay kind of dark and dim and not claim their power, because the power of us as individuals is infinite, and governments can't control that because it's not man-made. Jesus said, give unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and give unto God what belongs to God. And so I am going to argue that God owns the sky, and that it's not a man-made creation. So there should be humility to accept this energy, because I don't think this energy, it could disrupt things, yes, absolutely, but it's not going to be a species killer or a planet killer. This is natural and normal as we allow the God energy to pour through this planet. So anytime you see these chemtrails in the sky and you think like me and you want to receive God's love, you don't want that God's love to be blocked, then say this or something similar to it and believe it, that I do not give you permission to pollute my skies. I do not give you permission to block God. I want clean skies. I want clean skies. I believe in clean skies, and I will receive these skies from God. And if you need to change your wording, that's fine. But again, the idea here is that when you look at things like, man, I have no idea how to do that, because they still don't even say that chemtrails are real, right? But like, that is real. Those things are real. The contrails disappear, the chemtrails don't, and I always see that as usually like it gets colder after they chemtrail, a few days or whatever, and then we get these Arctic vortexes that we used to not really get, although at some point they used to just call that winter. So I don't know all the details of everything, but I can just feel in my bones and in my intuition. And again, keep that in mind, that this is an attempt at intuition. So it's not backed by fact or logic. And so therefore it could be considered wrong, but I'm asking you to, trust your intuition. You're a wise soul deep down, and you can tell when something's wrong. And when the sky becomes polluted, just on a common sense level, that doesn't make me happy. Like, just pollution in general, even if it did nothing to the temperature, pollution in general and a light blue sky that's almost gray is depressing. A dark, vivid blue sky is so beautiful, so magnificent, so royal, and it allows a person to look up into the sky and to feel their divinity, to feel that royalty that is inherent in each and every human. I just wanted to give you some access to a prayer or a statement that can counteract this stuff without having to go to war with these whatever entities. And it's not about fighting, right? Like, that's not, it's about transcending the polarities, transcending those things that they want us to believe, these narratives of us against them. It's not about that. It's like, no, this is about the Holy Spirit or the ego. Which one? Are we going to be separate, or are we going to be connected? And I am of the opinion that I want blue, clear skies. Oh, and here's a good example. Here are contrails. Look at these things, and you can see that these lines actually disappear, because after it's like the condensation from the jets or the airplanes. But if you look above, those are chemtrails. So there's two different things, and they usually do it early in the morning, or sometimes during the day blatantly, and sometimes they do it at night. So I don't know what their schedule is. Maybe they don't work the weekends, but definitely look like they're working the weekends now. But look at the commercial airplanes. Those are contrails. And then look at the others. Those are chemtrails. So again, I do not give you permission to pollute my sky. And you can take ownership of the sky just as every human can take ownership of the sky. It's common, it's yours. And if you do not want them polluting, you say, I do not sanction this. I want clean skies. You do not have the right to spray these skies. So, hopefully that was entertaining and useful, because it used to really depress me when I see this, and it's like, what the hell can I do? Now, here's something I can do. I can at least show my displeasure and affirm that I want clean blue skies once again. My fellow humans, if you are working in this field, I implore you to feel the wrongness that you are a part of. And if you can feel that, then stop doing that. And if you can't, well, that's okay, because as the Tao Te Ching says, the good man is the keeper of the bad man, and the bad man is the good man's keep. Love you guys. Namaste. God bless.